Hello everyone, it's Rena the Slow Knitter. Happy New Year! Last time I saw you, it was 2 days before Christmas. I was still running around. I was announcing my winner for my Podiversary. But now, it's a new year, a new beginning. I'm excited. Welcome 2018. Yay! Well, let me just get some of the details over with, and then we can get started. First of all, I'm Rena. I'm the Slow Knitter from Atlanta, Georgia. I can be found on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook as the Slow Knitter. And on Ravelry, I am Rena Lydia. Okay, this is episode number, I'm looking at my notes, 24. And the name of this episode is Saggy Bottom and Bits of Hay. That's all I'm saying. To be explained later as we develop, as we move forward. Anyway, beautiful day in Atlanta. It's about 45 degrees, crisp, cold. We just got back from the dog park, running the dogs. It's Martin Luther King Day, and it's a great day, and a lot of people that I know are out there volunteering today. My friend Stacy is cleaning up a little park, a city park, and my friend Beth and her children are, I think they're down watching the parade. We have an annual parade here for Martin Luther King. So it's a really great day here in Atlanta, and it means a lot to us here. So happy Martin Luther King's Day. So we have a lot to go over. We have a review of the work that I did in 2017. My saggy bottom. We'll talk about that. We will talk about that. It's very sad. And the bits of hay. Lots to review. Okay, so I am also, so that you guys know, and you guys can join in if you'd like, go to my Ravelry Slow Knitter podcast group. I'm holding a beginner's sock knitting knit along. It's a year-long knit along. You could be new to sock knitting or not new to sock knitting. It doesn't matter. There's literally no pressure. Every quarter I will just select randomly from the participants and give away a free skein of sock yarn. Some of my favorite indie dyers have been kind enough to step forward and donate them to you. So look for that. As you know, last year, I'm just taking a sip of my tea because I'm so dry. Very good. Last year, I had resolutions of knitting 2 pairs of socks, and I ended up knitting, I think I said 6 before, but when I did a little Insta story, but it's actually 7, which is pretty good. I'm still very heel challenged, so I still consider myself a beginner in terms of not really conquering a heel. The only heel that I've conquered, and I use that term loosely, is the afterthought heel that I learned from a Craftsy class done by Susan B. Anderson. So that one I feel more confident with. I still am determined to do German short row heel. I'm determined to really master the fish lips kiss heel. So we'll do that together. If you join the CAL, we can talk about that as well. So there'll be lots of goodies every quarter, and take your time, no pressure. If you're a first-time sock knitter or a long-term sock knitter, join in. It'll be fun. There's about 35 people in there right now. So come on in, come on. So I'm excited about that. Okay, let's see, 2017, I would say was a big year of discovery for me. I set the sock resolution. The other resolution I set was to go to a Fibro show. I came this close, but I never made it. So hopefully I will in 2018 go to the one that's here in Georgia, or Maryland Sheep and Wool. I don't really know. The more I see the films and the videos, those places, I'm not a big crowd person. I don't like to jostle among crowds. And most of the things that are sold there I can get. either through a local yarn shop or online. So, but I think it's the spirit of being there, of seeing other people, that's really the purpose of it. And maybe you get some specialty items that you can't get anywhere else, but we'll see. Well, it's open, but I am going to attend a fiber show. I am going to an Ann Budd Knit for Fun retreat in Savannah, Georgia. My friend Martha is also signed up to go with me, and that'll be a lot of fun. So those are the plans for this year in terms of events and things like that. Socks, I'm just gonna join along in the sock knit along with everyone else. I won't be gifting myself any yarn, but I will be gifting, people that are there. So I've already started a pair, and I'll continue to add to it. I've got that. But let's talk about what I did do in 2017 that really, when I put it all together, surprised me, because, I'm known as the slow knitter because, well, I have tendonitis issues. I have to take time off. I have to take frequent breaks and all that. And I have a somewhat competitive spirit. When I see all of you doing all these wonderful projects, I'm like, oh, I want to do that. And then I end up buying yarn and end up going maybe a third of the way through, half of the way through some of these projects. They'll be finished eventually. So I stick to the slow knitter thing simply because it just takes me a lot longer than a lot of my contemporaries that I see in our community. But that said, there's no rhyme or reason to it. Really, I know that. And the most important thing is to take care of ourselves. And if we need to take breaks and take some time off and we get injured, we'll be back to it. It's not like it's I think you've heard my French toast analogy. You can always have French toast. Even though it's not on your program, it's not going anywhere. Knitting isn't going anywhere. It will always be here. So anyway, little soapboxy thing. Anyway, let's get started. Let me show you all the things that I did in 2017 that I'm most proud of. And I think I said before on my Insta stories and I got it wrong. I'm going to show you what I had started in 2016, maybe even 15, and finished in 2017. There were just two main projects. One was the Welted Cowl by Jane Richmond. I said Shannon before, but it's Jane Richmond's Welted Cowl. And it's a baby alpaca wool. I don't really know what the wool is, but I know that it's a baby alpaca. It's squishy soft. It's wonderful. I think if I would do it again, I probably would want it a little closer to my face. But right now it hangs, but that's fine. So I'm really happy that I got this done. I really am. And it's sort of in I have two different nitty clothes drawers, and this is in my to be worn drawer. The other is don't ever think I'll wear that again. I'm not going to get rid of them, but I'm just don't think I'll ever wear them again drawer. We all have that. The other thing that while I was doing it, I fell out of love with it. When it was finished and I started to wear it, I fell back in love with it. And that's my Melanie Berg On the Spice Market shawl that I started in 2016 and finished in the spring or summer of this year. So a little bit, almost, well, a long time. But I do love it. And it sits in my office with me, and when I get cold, I wear it. And when we go out to dinner, sometimes I bring it. It's a standard triangle shawl. It's not very complicated. Let me show it to you the right way. And it's really just warm and fuzzy. It's done in Miss Babs. Miss Babs had a kit in her Yummy 2-ply. So it's a sock yarn, but it really is something that I really, really am proud of. And Melanie Berg is one of my favorite shawl designers, so I was very happy to do that one. Okay, then what did I start and finish? The beginning of the year, when the Grocery Girls shawl came out that Joji Locatelli did for Jody and Tracy, I jumped all over it. So I cast it on in January. It took me, I think I finished it in November. Yeah, I did finish it in November. We were down at the beach. I did finish it in November. It's asymmetrical. I used Madeline Tosh Tosh Merino Light, and I'm very happy with the way it came out. If I could figure out how to wear it, I would wear it all the time. Howie does very, very long repeats is sort of what I've noticed on a couple of patterns I've done of hers. I like it. If I did it again, I would just reduce the number of repeats. But I'm really proud of it. I'm really happy with the way it came out. I really liked. I love doing shawls, but I find that the long shawls with very long rows of like 300 plus stitches really slows me down a lot. Because it's just achy. It aches, so I stop doing them. But I eventually pick it up and I eventually finish it. Slow. Anyway, so I'm really happy with this one, and I think I'm learning how to wear it. I think the first couple wears I was like, I have no idea how to wear this thing, but now the more I use it, the more I know how to wear it. So that's now one of the shawls that I also did early this year and absolutely love it. I love the shape of it. I love the yarn I used. Remember early in the year I said that I was going to collect indie dyed yarn, and I did. And I'll continue to, because I just love them and feel that the quality is really great. And so I was able to get some Wool and Vine, and she's one of my favorite indie dyers. But I love this shawl designed by Janina Callio. She goes by Woodbury right now. And this is the Passeggiata shawl. And this shawl is crescent shaped, very easy to wear, very lightweight. And I think I bound it off using an I-cord bind off, and I'm glad I did. And I really do love this shawl. It's very easy to wear. It's love the colors, loved working with the Wool and Vine yarn, loved everything about it. So except that it got to the point where there were, I don't know, 400 something stitches. That's a lot for me, but you know what, I just powered through it, and I think it took me 5 or 6 months. No, we were in August when I finished it. So maybe 5 months to do, really, just because the rows are so long that after doing 2 rows, I have to take a break, maybe a week away from it. It's sort of goofy, but it's true. It's just too long. Anyway, so yeah, I love this. I love the shape of it. I love the weight of it. This one makes sense to me. Crescent or triangle shawls really work for me in terms of scale and fit and how to wear it. It's asymmetricals that have me a little stumped right now, but I'm gonna figure it out. This last shawl, I wish I did it bigger, but I'm glad I didn't, because it was sort of my first mostly lacy project, and I think it was one of my first Helen Stewart patterns. This is the Fairy Hill shawl. I did the small size, and I did it in a Madeline Tosh Twist Light, and I love it. It's another one of those shawls that's easy to wear, crescent shaped, year round, a lot of lace, but I absolutely love it. So this is a real hit for me. So that made me continue on, because I think my first experience with Helen Stewart's patterns was the Mystery Knit Along that she had early on, and the name escapes me of that pattern, but it was like really long rows, and I really wasn't in the rhythm. I don't think I picked the colors right. It was just not a good experience. I had to frog that one, and then I went on to others, and I think I have like 4 Helen Stewart patterns on the needles right now. Is that cray? That's cray. I just love her. Okay, so let's talk about socks. Socks, as we know, have been somewhat of a challenge for me because I don't really understand, do you do cuff down, toe up? I finally got the rhythm. I finally got it. I want to thank my friend Yolanda who's has a great podcast called Happy Knits, HAPPEE Knits. And she really inspired me on the sock front. She really inspired me to do toe up. She has a great tutorial out there, so if you haven't checked her out, do. So, I'm going to show you my socks. So, the first pair, I had a hoe. I'm not even going to show you that. I was Arnie and Carlos. It wasn't even a Perfect. It was like a Reggio or something. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I think I used... Kristen from Wool & Vine has a basic sock pattern. I think I used that. And it did cuff down. It was not a great experience, but I did it. It didn't really turn me off from doing socks. It just said, okay, that's sort of your practice sock. Since then, the next sock I did was using, I subscribed then to Mina Phillips. Knitting Expat had a New York sock club or sock collection. And there were a bunch of patterns, and I thought, well, I think I can do them. And I did. And so I did it on Dye for Knitting. Snap, Crackle, Pop is this colorway. Not a great sock, certainly not a great heel, but a sock nonetheless. And I did do these cuff down. So again, in fact, I was wearing these the other day when it was really cold in here in the office. So they're fun. I mean, for a sock, okay? So I'm proud of these for that. The next sock, I think, was called the Avenues, or one of the socks is called the Avenues. And it's a slip stitch pattern, and it is a lovely pattern. And I used Mustache Sheep yarn. And for the first time, I had contrasting heels and cuff. I wasn't brave enough to do toes. But I love this. I love the pattern. In fact, I probably would do this pattern again because I just loved it. The striping doesn't match, but who cares? And so this was a really, really good experience. Love the pattern. Love this yarn. After you block it and soak and block it, it's the softest, cushiest yarn. So I'm really, really happy. These are my favorite so far. This was just a load of fun, and this was Jinx yarn, and it's a little heavier in weight. It might be an additional ply or something than the Mustache Sheep, but this is also a Mina Phillips pattern, and I did not do any contrasting heels or cuffs or toes. I just went straight. And this pattern, while it was challenging, was just sort of a mock cable. It was fun, and really, I mean, come on, this yarn is perfect. So I was happy with that. I was really, really happy with that. I did a sock blanket from Gail's Arts and gave it to my nephew Brendan when he was here during the hurricane. We were a rescue center for him and his girlfriend Naomi. And so he wore my sock blank socks, and Naomi wore another pair of Mina Phillips designed socks made with Lolo Did It MCN, which was just gorgeous. She loved them. I loved them on her. Those had contrasting heels, toes, and cuffs, but they were reversed. So the heel on one was pink, the heel on the other was green. Yeah, it was really fun. And probably, was that one of my first? No, it was my second go at contrasting heels and cuffs. And then I've been talking about the ones I made for my niece Kim in New York, which was using Ancient Arts yarn. I did contrasting heels and cuffs and toes with Lolo Did It Mini. And that was a lot of fun. So 7 pair altogether, and this is Bob's Arnie and Carlos Perfect that I made for him for Christmas, which he wears as slipper socks. So they're fun. So I would say on the socks, I'm going to continue my journey in Sockland, and I'm really happy with this. Really. Okay. Then we have hats. I've been going a little high, like, I guess it's the instant gratification part of it that I love. I wore this hat when we were just out with the dogs at the dog park. And this is my Barley hat, tin can knits, got a little pom-pom, and it's made with Wing and a Prayer Farm Tammy White, and it's very close to being a hand spun. It was really a fun pattern. I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed putting this pom-pom on. It's a little bit long for me, so I had to fold up the brim, but it's fun, and it kept me warm while we walked the dogs. That's all that matters. While Bob was wearing his Rafa hat that I made for him out of the same yarn that I'm going to show you in a minute. This is Madeline Tosh DK Twist. This is Fordham University's colors. It's also a little big for him, but he folds up the brim. And as I mentioned in the last podcast, I probably would reduce the number of repeats, but it's a great hat. And I'm knitting a hat for a friend of mine. I think I'm going to knit the same hat because it's just a fun knit and easy and looks really, really beautiful. So I was happy about that. Another hat I did, this was my first stranded colorwork hat, was the Slouchy Ombre hat. And I used for this Baracco folio. It's a DK, but it's a very light DK. And I love doing the stranded colorwork. It's certainly not perfect, but it's perfect as far as I'm concerned. And the stranded work was fun. So much so that I really enjoyed doing stranded work. So I'll show you something else I'm doing in a minute that mimics this. But I did sign up for a class to do more Fair Isle because I really, really enjoy it. And there's so much out there that's Fair Isle. Small projects, I'm not talking about the sweaters that everybody's knitting. And I'm not talking about those that might be a little much. But certainly smaller projects like hats and cowls and mittens, using that technique, I think I can do that. So I signed up for a class to do that. So we'll see. But I'll keep you posted on that. And I knit one other hat, a cable hat, a Helen Stewart Knit Event 2015 cable hat called the, I'll remember it in a minute. It was too small, so I gifted it to my niece Courtney, and it fits her. She's small everywhere, so big brain, small head. It fits her. She likes it, so she's like, oh, I love it. I was like, okay, it's yours. I made that out of Malbrigo Arroyo, which I'm having a love affair with. Now, this does not count as a 2017 FO because I just finished this last week, although I started in July or August. And this is my basic raglan pullover. It's a pattern by Joji. It's, I love it. I could live in this sweater. I'm not kidding. It's my first official sweater. I mean, I made a sweater before, but it wasn't anything like this. It was a basic cardigan, ill fit. I must have swatched. Anyway, I swatched this. I used a sizing technique that I learned, I'm sure many of you know it, from Hannah Fettig when I watched her videos from Knit Stars 1, where don't go by the sizes that are in the pattern. Take your favorite sweater, measure it, and match it to whatever size that correlates with as closely as possible in the pattern. So if it's a large, it's a large. I took one of my favorite sweaters that fit me really well, and I found the size that was similar, and it turned out it was the small size, and I knit to it. I knit a swatch, I blocked it, and the yarn just softens up so beautifully when you swatch it. When you're knitting with it, it's a little, it's DK. It feels heavy-ish. Not now. It took 2 days for this thing to dry, but I think the sleeves I shortened the sleeves a little bit because they were too long for me. But it falls right at my hip, which is where I wanted it to fall. I'll back up a little so you can see it. So it falls like right here. And I wanted it to fall there because I wanted to wear it with jeans. I didn't want it to be too long. I have leggings on now, and I probably wouldn't go out wearing this with leggings because while it covers all the right stuff, it still is leggings. And I don't unless I have something really long. I don't usually wear leggings with something this short, but with jeans or with other kinds of pants, perfect. Perfect length, perfect arm length. I didn't want it down to the cuffs. I wanted it 3/4-ish. It was a challenge. It was my first sweater. I mean, I have long and arduous tales about it. At the end of the day, though, it's done, and I love it. I seriously can live in this all day. I'm not uncomfortable. There's nothing uncomfortable about it. Nothing. But great lessons for me, and I owe a lot of help to Martha. Thank you, Martha, down at the beach, who walked me through the right way to do certain things like decreases and increases, and she told me to do German short rows for the short row section of the neck, and I just did it, and she just gave me some great advice and followed along. She helped me try it on when it was up to here. I mean, so I think this is part of Martha's sweater, but yeah, it's bueno. And so I would absolutely do another pullover again, for sure. But the next sweater that I'm working on is an Amy Herzog design called Curlews. It is a cardigan. It has a lot of positive ease, and that's the one where you start left cuff around and build the back. And again, that should be a challenge, and I'm not putting any pressure on myself. That might take, I don't know, all next year, a good part of next year, but that's okay with me. I have a lot of things I have to do. Anyway, so that's my year in review of 2017. A lot of work, but a lot of really great work. And I have to say that I'm just looking at my notes. I have to say that I do regret some of the projects I worked on. Not regret. When I started to now, my tastes have changed. The type of wool I want to work with has changed. I think I got so excited about everything in early part of 2017 that I just wanted to get everything. But I sort of have calmed down a little. But anyway, I'll get there. Anyway, so let me get my whips and we'll go to Whipland, and I'll show you, I'll tell you what else I'm doing as a result of 2017 experiences. But let's talk about what I'm working on now. Okay, this is the works in progress section. Maybe I'll add some applause background. I haven't figured that out yet. All right, let me take you back to the slouchy ombre hat. By the way, every chance I get, I wear this. And nobody says, oh, that's a nice hat, but I don't care because I love it. It's very light, and I do love it. So much so that I have done it. I'm almost at the end of it, actually. I've done it in reverse. See? This is my hat. I'm making this hat for a friend, but I did it in reverse. And I did a much better job on this one because this is my first experiment. I think for me, in Fair Isle or First Stranded, holding the yarn is the challenge. Because I am a continental knitter and I hold my yarn in my left hand. There are ways to hold both strands of yarn in your left hand. I haven't quite figured that out yet. I have, periodically I'll do it and it works. So I'll throw the second strand awkwardly for the other color. So it's okay, it works. That's what part of the reason why I'm signing up for this class, to just get better at it. And I want to do a Boylan Knits cowl that Caitlin Hunter has designed. And I actually purchased a pattern, and then I saw this ad, this promotion for this class, and I thought, oh, well, okay, I'll do that. I want to do it anyway. I want to do it right. And it's hard. Oh yeah, I'll tell you about what I'm going to do next. So that's one of my whips. And one of my whips it's really at the end. I just need to do the decreasing for the end of it in this second color. The purplish was my second color last time. Yeah, fun. I like doing it. And it's a well-written pattern, and I'll put the link to the pattern in the show notes, which will be in my Ravelry podcast group, but it will also be on my website. Okay, while we're on hats, let's stick to hats. First, I have to tell you that I was part of Knit Stars 2, and part of Knit Stars 2, when you're part of Knit Stars, they offer you yarns from either that's dyed exclusively for them, or you can easily get, they'll offer it to you. So they were offering La Bien Amie DK. And I love La Bien Amie. I have not quite knit anything on it. I have a few skeins. But I saw the DK and I thought, yeah, I want DK. I thought I was getting another color, but I ended up getting this color, which is stunning. It's called Shire. And it's Madeline Tosh DK in the, it's sort of a wonderful tonal green. I am making, I went ahead and got Helen Stewart's Knit Vent 2017, and in there is a great, easy, simple pattern called the Tchaikovsky hat. And this is how this beautiful DK knits up. It is simply, so much so, and it's a superwash merino DK, so it's 100% superwash merino. It is like butter. It's amazing to knit with. It's so beautiful. So I'm in the body of the hat. I don't have that much more to go before I start decreasing, and I think I'm gonna get this to my cousin Karen, who, oh, by the way, I'm holding this in this French-inspired design bag. Why do I always forget who did the bag? Yeah. But I love, I could just see this in a sweater or in some sort of like a poncho or something that's big and comfy, and it's, oh my god, it's so squishy. And this is not blocked. I do block the hat. I will block the hat. But I'm going to give this to Cousin Karen, and I'm going to put a pom-pom on it. The reason I'm going to give it to Cousin Karen is Cousin Karen and I have visited Paris together, so it just reminded me of her. And I thought, I think she got one of my knits a very long time ago. It's time to update the knits. It's time to give Karen a new knit. So that's going to Cousin Karen. Then my wonderful sister saw this hat that I posted. Oh no, where is it? Where is the hat? Oh, right here in front of me. This hat that I posted on Instagram, and I guess she yelped. She's like, please, 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 make me one. So I am making her one. She wanted light gray. And I went around in my stash and found a beautiful Madeline Tosh DK gray. It's in their Long Rider DK, which is actually a merino nylon mix. But it's going to be beautiful, and I've got a perfect pom-pom for it. So she's a very deep brim on this. So I'm going to shorten it, probably about 4 rows, and make it so that she's able to at least flip it up if she wants it a little bit tighter. And so it's a fast knit, it's a fun knit, it's an easy knit, and with beautiful yarn, it's spectacular. So that's the other hat I'm working on. So I'm working on 2 at the same time, 2 of the same designs at the same time, 2 different wools. I'm at 2 different places. Whatever. Okay, and the last thing I'm going to show, I'm going to show you a couple more things, but I'm going to show you the sock that I'm working on for my Slow Knitter Sock Knit Along, which is on my Ravelry podcast group. I am using this yarn that my friend Carol got me. It's called Fidalgo Yarns, and it's this beautiful rainforest colorway. And I'm using a pattern called Petty Harbor. Yes. Simple, like so simple, this pattern. And I'm going to try a German short row heel. I am doing this cuff down, which I usually do my socks toe up, but for some reason when I started knitting it, I just started with the cuffs. So I'll put my heel in after probably about 60 rows of patterning, and again, I'm doing them 2 at a time. So I think I did more on this morning. Yeah, I did 8 rows more to do that on this. But yeah, I love it. I love the way it's coming out. I love working on this yarn. And Carol warned me because she said she loved it when she worked on it, and she said you're gonna love it. And she's right. I really, really do. And this is the yarn that has copper in it, like I don't know how they put in the copper. Probably I don't know. But it's supposed to be antibacterial. I don't know what that means. You don't have smelly feet? I don't know. So anyway, it's in my Neilcraft bag, which is a 2 at a time sock bag, which is a great little sock bag. So I love that. And I'll put the link to hers as well. That's what I'm working on right now. I'm going to go back to some of the projects that have been languishing. Simply because of holiday and getting through the sweater and these hats, and so there are some projects that I'm like longing to get back to, some that I'm not, even though some, actually I have a confession. I'm gonna frog some of them. Is that bad? Tell me it's not bad. I don't love them as much as I loved them when I first started them. I'm not gonna tell you, I'm just gonna frog it. It's just better, just zip it up, frog it. I'll use the wool. The wool will be so much happier somewhere else. And I frogged a project that I was going to do for a friend who's kind of not a friend anymore. And I looked and I thought, why am I doing it? I don't even have any contact with her anymore. I'm going to frog it and use it. It's like Malintash vintage. I mean, like, okay. No. Is it? No. Yeah. Well, anyway, I'm not gonna do it. I frogged it, and then I'm gonna frog, and there's a couple things just so they get off my mind and they get off the you need to do this guilt trip that I'm on right now. I'm on a guilt trip. Anyway, so that's all I'm doing. I went down this path. I don't think I'm going to stay down this path. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I did not do it correctly. But I've been looking at my sock yarn, and my leftover sock yarn, or my leftover bits and bobs and all that. And I realized I've got to do something with that. What's that? That granny stripe crochet thing? And I so want to crochet, and well, first of all, I don't think I did it right. Second of all, who cares? Third of all, I don't know. I should just keep doing it and see if it gets better. But it might be another one of those frog thing. However, it's all over Instagram because I think everybody's doing their cozy memory blanket. I started one and I haven't gotten back to it. Now I sort of want to get back to it. This is all Koigu. Doesn't it look like a painting? This is all Koigu. And I sort of like it. I thought, why don't I do that? And I think somebody's and a couple of people on Instagram are doing like 1 square day or something. I don't think I can do that, but maybe I should revisit it because I have a whole bunch of other things. As far as the granny stripe crochet one, not sure about that. I don't know. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep trying, but I don't know. We'll see. I do want to do crochet, but there's a lot of stuff on the needles. Priorities. I have to prioritize, and priorities say that may not be one of them. May not. Anyway. Okay. That's it. Let me tell you about some acquisitions. and then I'll do a little chatter. I made the barley hat out of Tammy White from A Wing and a Prayer Farm, her most beautiful yarn or whatever. I loved it. Learning a lot about fiber from her, and it's sort of what I also want to do, learn a little bit more and understand the fibers I'm working with, and the plies and all this kind of stuff. This is, I bought this from Twig and Horn, but it came from Quince. I think they're one and the same company, or it's a division or something. This is Cormo. It's bulky. I don't typically work with bulky yarns because that, with a bigger needles really stress my hands out more. But I'm thinking I can work. It says US 6, so I'm gonna try that. But I love this color. And Cormo is supposed to be super, super soft. And this is worsted weight. Hand wash, cool. Spun in Wyoming. Stone wool. I'm gonna try it. It's screaming hat to me. It's not that many yards. 200. So screaming hat. So I might pick a hat pattern and go with that. The other thing that I bought, did I tell you this? I can't remember. I should have watched the last podcast. I think I did. I purchased first of all, I love anything from Barnyard Knits. Name it, I love it. Love it. It's just a very, anyway, I bought her So Faded Cardi kit. In DK. I don't know that I'm going to make it. I really don't know if I'm going to make a So Faded Cardi. But now I have a lot of Barnyard Knits DK. Oh, damn. Darn. Sorry. Darn. What will I do with it? Who knows? I mean, there are some patterns out there that use a couple of skein. I don't know. But I don't think I'm going to do So Faded Cardi. Sorry. I don't know. You know me. I might change my mind. But now I'm just replete with Kim's from Barnyard Knits. Gorgeous, gorgeous DK. Old Tin Roof. Stone Harbor. I mean, just some of her most beautiful yarns. Colors. So it's DK. Can't go wrong with anything that Barnyard Knits does. So, fingers crossed. This will be put to good use. Oh, good Lord, why did I buy it? This is not a commercial for Barnyard Knits, but I seem to have joined a sock club. And this was her latest color, which was Sweet Berries. Did I show you this already? I think I did. I'm having a flashback if I showed you that. All right, and then last is this manifesto that we've all seen from Home Row Fibers. I'm waiting for a poster because I will frame it and hang it. But she had a tote bag. So I bought the tote bag. And this is the Knitter's Manifesto that we've seen that I absolutely love. So this hangs over one of my knitting chairs just so that I can see it. We are knitters. Through knitting, we have found our community, our home. You know, the typefaces that she's chosen to use from a designer's eye. It's really just lovely. And I can see this framed and hung up in my craft room. So I'm waiting. I mean, she's done other things, but hasn't quite gotten to the poster yet, and I think that's going to be next. Okay, so why the name of this podcast? Saggy Bottom. Oh, good Lord. Okay, I have a saggy bottom. Okay, I have a saggy bottom. I never noticed that before, but I noticed that in the last couple weeks that my bottom is sagging, which means I need to go exercise. Now, exercise for me is a little tough. As many of you know, I have MS, so I can't do anything overly aerobic. So I consulted with my chiropractor, who's also, she's super buff, and I said, Tina, I need some exercises for my saggy bottom. She cracked up and said, you know, it's the squats in the chair and the donkey fire hydrant kicks, and that'll help. Saggy bottom. Anybody else out there have a saggy bottom or have advice for saggy bottomness? Or I should just accept it. It's just part of who I am. I have a saggy bottom. The bits of hay part is when I was working on the Wing and a Prayer wool, the yarn. The most beautiful yarn. By the way, this pattern is simple, easy, tin can knits, barley hat. Easy, wonderful pattern. I kept picking out bits of hay and dark hairs. It wasn't mine. It was something. It was like woven in. So it was either they didn't get it out or what. But I had this great pom-pom, so I put it on. I did what Tracy from the Grocery Girls told us to do, which is to weave it in to the crown. I did that. And when it's on tight, it isn't floppy right now. It's floppy, but I kept picking out hay. I mean, I put it in a little dish just to see how much hay I would pick out. I was picking out a lot of hay. It was so fun. It does sort of bring you closer to farm and the sheep. And so I'm like obsessed with learning more about sheep types and wool types and fiber content. And my friend Mars, who is Hey Brownberry on Instagram and her wonderful podcast, I was watching her spinning and she's encouraging me to try spindle. I don't know. I might not. We'll see. That might be. The other goal for this year, by the way, Ghetto Fiber Show, keep collecting these wonderful yarns, maybe from dyers that I haven't collected yarn from yet. I'll always stick to my favorites, Lauren from All Roasted Chair, Bull & Vine, Sheila from Bigfoot Fibers, and some others that are just freaking wonderful. Karen from Cordobello Yarns. So there's a lot of indie buyers, and then my standbys are always Madeline Tosh, Malabrigo. I just love that. Love that fiber. Just to learn more about the whole process of it. So don't forget, I'm sort of new-ish at those details and really want to learn some more. But the other thing that I really want to learn, don't laugh at me. Don't laugh. I want to learn to read charts. I kind of can and I kind of can't. I want to because some of the strand color work is charted. Actually, there's quite a few patterns I have that are charted. I mean, some of them are written out and charted. Some of them are just charted. And I have to put on my big girl pants and learn how to read them. And my friend Martha said she loves them. She said, oh, I love charts. I was like, oh, I don't know. She said, oh, no. She said, when you look at the chart, the motif of what you're going to knit is actually in the chart. I'm like, it is? She said, don't you see it? I know. Yeah, so I'm going to learn charts. That's also 2017. Let me check my list. I think that's it. Yeah. Didn't do others. Let's see. Learn to crochet. Brioche. Maybe. I'm on the fence about brioche. Seriously on the fence about learning it. And I don't know. Jury's out. Learn to read charts. Improve reading my knitting. I'm better at it. I'm so much better at it this last year. It's taught me a lot about reading the knitting and knowing either where I've gone wrong or knowing how a stitch sets up, and much better. Still need a lot of improvement in it. Want to continue to improve in reading my knitting. And then I maybe try spindle spinning, maybe not. And that's a lower priority. But a big priority, because I have so many whips. And that's another reason I'm slow. I just have too many things on the needles. And if something bores me quickly, I'll put it down. So I need to either pick patterns that won't bore me, or understand that if they do bore me, it's just going to take a longer time. And that's going to be okay. With me, anyway. How about any of you? Anyway, no, it's okay with me. That things are going to take time, and I'm feeling less competitive about it. I was really feeling, people like starting things and I'm finishing them like 2 weeks later. I'm like, oh, I better get started, I better get going. I don't do well at mystery knit-alongs because I can't keep up, although I like to join them. Just for the beginning of it and the fun of it, but I don't ever finish it. I mystery knit-along, so, but that's okay, who cares? I got this great book, a Stitch Dictionary book that Martha recommended to me. And what I might do is, on my downtime, on downtime is I might actually just do different swatches with some of the leftover yarn that I have. Just do different swatches of different pattern types. And if I like them, maybe sew them together or graph them together. I don't know. It's just a lot of options, because every time I look at that book, I'm like, oh, I want to try that. I want to try that stitch. So I might do some of that. Cable more, cable better. I'm an okay cabler, but you know, again, no pressure. It doesn't matter that. But my biggest achievement, which is a 2018 FO, is this sweater, because I love the color. The knit was challenging as all get out. But it's something I will wear all the time, unlike the other sweater that I never wore because I just disliked it. So I'm hoping that my Amy Herzog Curlew sweater is something that I'll also love. And that's when I'm going to hold 2 different Shibui yarns together as I knit. So that's going to be a fun experiment. And the fact that we start with the sleeve is interesting to me. And then I won't go to Sleeve Island. I didn't like Sleeve Island. Again, first time doing the sleeves like this. Did not like it. But again, it's sort of like socks. I do them tandem. Why wouldn't I do the sleeves tandem? Duh. Plus the directions on the sleeves were a little bit wacky. So Martha helped me figure that out and what to do. Long story. Anyway, that's it for me. Welcome to 2018. And this is my first podcasting for 2018. Please subscribe. Welcome back to my new subscribers. Welcome back to my subscribers in general. Welcome to my new subscribers. Please, please, please subscribe. There's a certain milestone I get acknowledged by YouTube if I get to it. And I'm only 300 away from that. So tell your friends, subscribe. Or if you're a podcaster and you would like to refer or recommend my podcast, please do. No, really, my subscribers are really super motivating to me, and I thank you very much for tuning in and watching me all the time. And also, welcome to the new subscribers, and so glad you're joining me. And we'll have fun as we go through this. So that's the recap of 2017. You know what I want to do for 2018. You'll see my FOs, which are going to be mostly hats. Maybe some cowls. I have a couple of cowls on the needles that I want to sort of tackle as we go. One of them already has a boo-boo in it, or as we say, a imperfection, or a stylistic change. And I was thinking of ripping it out, and I thought, no, don't rip it out. It's just your signature on it. Don't rip it out. I thought, okay, then I'm not gonna. And then somebody, I think Grace, told me, a friend of mine, Grace from my VKN, and she's a well-known dyer, and she said that there used to be, when crafters did tapestries, they would automatically almost always make sure there was a mistake in it, so it was sort of their signature and it could not be replicated easily. Something like that. I may have gotten that wrong, Grace, sorry. Anyway, Thanks for stopping by. I had a good time today. Today was a good day. I'll try and get this up tomorrow on YouTube. You know, it's a challenge. Everyone have a great Monday, a great week. I love you. Don't forget, this is my sign off. This is sign language for I love you. We'll see you in a few weeks. Okay. Bye.